What's up, guys? Welcome back to WCS America. I'm Axeltoss, joined by Axslav. This is week 2 of the group play stages. Of course, we had 6 players qualify last week. We have a 5-day week this week. Every single day, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. We got some awesome StarCraft 2 coming your way. Again, every single group, the top 2 players from each group will advance to Premier League Season 2 WCS America, 3rd place. Go to Challenge League next season. And, of course, 4th place will be out of WCS America. Currently, we just saw Sage take down Set 2-0, and now Oz is up against Fenix 1-0. Played a pretty good game 1.
Yeah, an excellent game 1 there. His use of Blink sockets was phenomenal there, and really showcased his micro. He was so good at both avoiding losses by utilizing Blink, but also picking off key units that prevented Fenix from developing that mid-game composition that gets scary.
Yeah, and of course, you know, as you're doing this stuff with the Blink Stalkers, being aware of what your opponent is up to is pretty important too. Like staying aware, being on top of your scouting, right? Because you have your Blink Stalkers in your opponent's main. You can identify little things that kind of tell you what's going on. If you're taking out 3 medevacs, you're probably going to be very comfortable that he's not going to counterattack you with the draw. Like taking out those 3 medevacs earlier, that's huge because you know your opponent is not going to try to do a counter drop because they just don't have the units necessary to do something like that, where they can send some units across the field while defending against the annoying stalkers in the front.
That's right, and that's really, against a player like Fenix,
yeah,
that's what you want to do. Fenix is at home when you're at home, and he's attacking you, and he gets to dictate the pace of the game. Just a very hyper-aggressive player, and if you put him on a defensive, it takes him out of his element. And that's something no player wants to be, is in a situation where they don't feel in control of the game.
Right.
And there's some players who, even if you're attacking them, they feel in control, because they're just fine being, like Theognis, for example. He's fine sitting defending 2 bases with 3 orbitals, and he feels like that's fine. But a player like Fenix, who's used to just constantly dropping his opponent, gets him out of his comfort zone, and you're gonna basically find more mistakes.
Okay. And
that's why we saw he was able to pick off 2 or 3 medevacs. They were a little bit exposed there. There wasn't always the bunkers in the right placements. There wasn't always SCVs when needed to be.
Yeah.
And Oz just exploited every little mispositioning perfectly.
Yeah, so what do you think is the best way for a Terran to deal with, let's say they just scout the Twilight Guns. They know your opponent's going for Blink. Is it worth it to get a bunker in the main? I mean, what are the steps a Terran needs to take once they identify the Blink play from their opponent?
Just having a bunker in your front and also 1 in your main is great. If you have a lot of units, you don't need a bunker in your main. But it's great to have it there. It's only 100 minerals. You can salvage it. You get 75 back. It's not a big deal. But what happened is Fenix didn't scout it fast enough. And so when they blinked into his main, he lost the depot there. Then he lost a couple of units.
He lost some Marines in the middle of the map.
Exactly. That was pretty big, too. And if you don't have a big army, your opponent can blink into you and focus key things. And that's really where it went downhill for Fenix. So at the front, he wasn't prepared for attack at the front. He only had 1 Marine in the bunker. The SCVs weren't there to repair. So the Stalkers blinked in, took that down, and then he pulled his army out, and he only had 8 Marines versus 15 Stalkers, I think. And so he just blinked into the Marines and killed the medevacs. And then once the medevacs are dead, just everything starts going downhill.
And even if you lose 1 or 2 Stalkers, it's going to be worth it every single time. Right now, by the way, our admin is currently talking to Fenix. He was lagging a lot in the last game, so I'm being told he's considering forfeiting. So that's this current situation, and that's getting figured out.
It's tough in Peru, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, South America not known for having the world's greatest internet. And of course, Fenix is playing from Peru right now. So he's having some issues, but hopefully he'll get those resolved, because he is a guy who, I remember seeing him. He was one of the few non-Koreans to perform really well in the early IM events in 2011.
Yes.
Every IM event he would qualify for, because they always had a South American qualifier, and he would always win it, no matter what. He was like, "This one's easy, guys. I got this." And then people would say they would discount him, but he would take maps off of some of the top Korean players. I think he even might have taken on MVP in one of the tournaments. So he's a guy who in Brood War and in the early StarCraft 2 days was so dominant.
Right.
It would just be amazing to see him get back in that same shape. Because right now, I mean, Killer is really the main guy holding up the South American scene.
Yeah. Hope to see Fenix do well, but unfortunately, we are getting word that Fenix has decided to forfeit because he is having serious internet problems. And it's one of those things, I don't know if they have, do PC cafes even exist in Do you think they exist?
I'm sure there's some, but
Yeah.
it might not be close to them. You know,
Yeah.
it'd be something where.
Because it might be one of those things where, you know, you go quickly over to a PC cafe and get your matches done.
PC cafes also, a lot of them had notoriously bad internet.
Really?
I know, like,
Oh.
well, at least the one in the States.
Sure.
I've yet to be in a PC cafe in the States where I didn't get insane lag.
Wow.
It's just, I
That
don't know.
seems counterintuitive a little bit.
Well, I mean, it's because they're normally designed for LAN play.
Right.
Right? So they're designed, people go in there and they play Counter-Strike with each other and stuff, at least in the States.
Once Xbox One comes around, we don't have to worry about that. So
Yeah.
that's good.
There you go.
So, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to set up Oz versus, of course, Sage.
Yes.
In the meantime. So Oz is going to take the win over Fenix, and he will be playing Sage in the winner's match. Guys, stay tuned. We got Oz versus Sage coming up.